Lately, the nightly news has been filled with feature stories on the mega drought, which is affecting parts of the southwest and southeastern United States. This winter, the Sierra snowpack was at 44% of normal. In Lake Tahoe, it was only 38% of normal. Water content in the snow at Mount Rose was 19% this year, as opposed to 64% last year. Riverside County in Southern California received less than 2 inches of rainfall this year. That's less than the annual rainfall in Death Valley. Surely, given these circumstances, protecting our water resources would be among our highest priorities. In my community, not so. For the second time in 10 years, for the second time in California history, 2 of our government agencies, the California Department of Fish and Game and the United States Forest Service, are planning to put approximately 16,000 gallons of a pesticide, which is a pesticide for killing fish, called CST-legumine, into Lake Davis beginning after Labor Day. The first time Lake Davis was poisoned was in 1997. Prior to that poisoning, Lake Davis was the municipal water supply for the city of Portola. Lake Davis is the only California drinking water supply to have ever been treated with a pesticide. The 1997 treatment and the September 2000 treatment of Lake Davis are part of the pike eradication plan. The powers that be have determined that the trout are the preferred fish in Lake Davis. The northern pike are not. In 1997, the eradication of the pike was unsuccessful. Toxic chemicals that were used got into creeks and streams, and health problems occurred among many residents. And then the pike reappeared after 18 months. The pesticide that will be used is a liquid product called CST-legumine, a product made up of 5% rotenone and 95% inert ingredients. What's rotenone? Rotenone is a naturally occurring compound that is present in a number of plants. It is formulated in pesticide products to control insects, spiders, and undesirable fish. The rotenone is the ingredient in CST-legumine that kills fish. It also kills every other creature in the lake, all species of fish, insects, frogs, and other wildlife that inhale or drink the water within a few hours of the treatment. If rotenone comprises 5% of CST-legumine, what comprises the other 95%? The answer is inert ingredients. Inert ingredients, also known as other ingredients, are substances that make the product easier to use. For example, when my children were little, I bought chewable vitamin C tablets. The vitamin C, ascorbic acid, is bitter and tart. The inert ingredients in the vitamin C tablet were sugar and flavorings, which made the vitamin tablet tasty for the children. In pesticides, inert ingredients are to make the chemical easier to use or apply. In the case of CST-legumine, the inert ingredients facilitate the dispersal of the rotenone into the water. Inert is a benign-sounding term, but actually, so-called inerts contain many dangerous chemicals that cause cancer, reproductive harm, nervous system damage, and other health effects. Most people are unaware of these other ingredients. The Environmental Protection Agency requires manufacturers to disclose only 0.3% of these inert ingredients on their product labels. The other 99.7% are proprietary information, also known as trade secrets. When the EPA started this policy in 1987, there were 1,200 inert ingredients used in pesticide products. Today, there are over 2,311. More than a quarter of these inert ingredients are considered hazardous by state, federal, and other agencies. But aren't inerts regulated by testing, you might ask? Yes and no. Testing is costly, time-consuming, inconsistent and inadequate, according to the Northwest Coalition. But aren't inerts regulated by testing, you ask? Yes and no. Testing is costly, time-consuming, inconsistent, and inadequate, according to the Northwest Coalition for Alternatives to Pesticides. The EPA requires even less testing for hazards created by combining active and inert ingredients. And it's that combination of active and inert ingredients, a toxic cocktail to which living species are exposed. So, rotenone is the active ingredient in CST-legamine and makes up 5% of the total mixture. What is the other 95%? Some of the inerts or other ingredients in CST-legamine are trimethylbenzene, naphthalene, toluene, and propylbenzene. These are just a few of the 17 chemicals that will be looked for in water and sediment testing after the lake has been treated. Of those 17 ingredients, 3 are on the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services list number 1 of the most toxic chemicals. Representatives from the Department of Fish and Game and California Health Services have assured the Lake Davis Steering Committee that the amounts of these inert ingredients are so small as to be completely safe. Since Lake Davis is the only drinking water supply to be treated, how do they know that? I can only speak for myself, and I say I don't want to be a guinea pig. I don't want to find out 20 years down the road that the proponents of the poisoning of Lake Davis made a mistake. We must protect our water.